Thank y'all for listening to the Southern Style Podcast. We appreciate y'all being here. I'm Michael Lee.
And this is Rick Henderson.
Here the hell we go. There's a 98% chance we do not have it together. Kind of like tornadoes hitting trailer park. There's a 98% chance that's happening.
That's a Southern thing, guys.
The Southern is cornbread and biscuits.
Kyrgyzstan, like, the places that you kind of
Can you
essentially.
spell that?
Absolutely
I
not.
didn't think so.
Don't forget, we're from the South.
What?
Cut off the chicken tongue.
Could you
man.
imagine walking you in here and have a damn 8-foot chicken in the corner?
I was thinking about putting him in the front yard.
This train wreck of a saga.
Yes.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Hey, y'all.
Hey. Episode 7.
7. Wow, that happened fast. That escalated.
Fast. Only taking 3 months to get to 7. That's cool. Yeah, that's fast. We did 6 last, so in sequential order, here we are.
Here we are, guys. I hope y'all are enjoying the Southern Style Podcast. We're
Live
on
from Rick's Body Shop Plus in Homerville, Georgia.
Emporium.
Shameless plug number 1.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I think we forgot to shove that in there last time.
No, I got it.
You got it.
I got
Okay.
it. I always get Rick's Body Shop in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael's always got
The
my
only
back.
sponsor we have of this thing. Hint, hint. Anybody listening?
Yeah. Give us a email or a
Yeti. What are y'all doing? Do you like your Southern crap?
hey. Well,
How many people in the South do you think own Yeti coolers?
oh man, that's a pretty Southern thing there.
Like, remember, like when they first came out, which they're like $9,000 a piece, right?
Yeah, and
every
everybody-
accessory is $9,001 a
Yeah.
piece. Everybody puts them in the back of their truck, like on their toolbox, and
They needed them elevated.
It was a status thing,
It was a
so everybody
status.
could see your Yeti.
Yes, that guy owns a Yeti. I
Oh
bet
my
he
God.
is. I bet he's wealthy.
I bet he's got at least $400 in the bank. No, he don't, because he bought that Yeti.
he just
And then
spent it all.
you buy a Yeti this big, and it's $69.
Yeah.
And that's just, and that it didn't even open. It's just a little fake cooler.
But I gotta admit though, I did buy one. I waited until a little bit of the riffraff was down on it, and then everybody's talking about how awesome they were, and they held ice for ever and ever. And I was like, well, if you buy 10 coolers in 10 years, or however, just whatever, just hypothetically saying, versus buying that one expensive one, it might be worth it. So I buy the cooler, and then like the first 3 or 4 times of putting ice in it, it sucked.
So you have to learn how to use a Yeti properly.
You got to cool your stuff before you put it in
Exactly. You got to put your Yeti in a walk-in freezer and freeze it solid. And then when you use it outside, it takes longer for the ice to melt. I promise you it works.
there. It's so good. That thing is so good.
I tell you, if you just get your Yeti, you put all your drinks in there and all your ice and everything, whatever, and you put it in a freezer, it'll stay cold forever.
You know what? I mean, you are right, but wouldn't all them coolers do that?
Yes,
If you cool everything before you put it in
No,
there?
if you put every cooler in a freezer, it'll always stay cold.
That is true.
Until the freezer goes out.
Let me tell you something. We speaking
You
truth
can't
here,
get
baby.
nothing by us around here.
But Yeti was
So today's topic is overpriced shit.
yeah, that's a really good topic there. But Yeti was onto something when they just built them rugged.
It was marketing, bro.
Yeah, I know.
They invented marketing to
Yeah.
another level. It was they created a product that honestly, all these rotomolded coolers, most of them are pretty heavy. I know that
They are
some
heavy.
now people have developed some that are lighter or whatever. They all hold ice about the same. Are they better? Oh no! Like if you went and we bought, which I don't even know. You can't even buy a cheap cooler anymore unless it's the styrofoam at the 7-Eleven.
You mean like the old basic Igloo?
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
Even, the Igloo's already more expensive now. That cooler that used to be $20 there is like $100 now.
Well, they had to restructure probably everything that they were doing
Yeah,
once
they had to
Yeti
stay
come
competitive
along.
in the market,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
So, but if you went and bought the old cheapo, and then you bought the Yeti and you put them outside in 95 degrees, just brought them right out of here, the Yeti's gonna perform a little better. It's gonna be a little better.
4 times the amount better.
But it all went into marketing. So I mean,
yeah,
it was a status symbol. That's what Yeti turned into.
exactly.
I have a Yeti.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like the Costa glasses and the Yetis.
Which, I mean, most of the Costas are pretty decent glasses.
Yeah.
But I've got a few pair that are crap. I mean, they've fallen apart. Paint's chipped off. I got a pair I sent back because the paint was chipping off. They repainted them and sent them back, and it's still cheap. They repainted. You could see where the paint had chipped off, and all they did was repaint over it, and they sent them back, and they're still crap.
Hey Costa, who's got that contract?
Exactly. Step your game up. Damn.
I can pop the lenses out, and these boys can paint up some glasses.
I'm bringing Rick's Body Shop Plus and Sunglass Painters. Yeah. You need your coasters repainted, bring them to Rick's.
Hey, this is an emporium here, people.
That's what I'm saying. We ain't scared to make a dollar around these parts. You want your Yeti painted? Boom. We won't even say Yeti anymore. Just be black. Blacked out Yeti cup. You don't nobody care about your Yeti cup no more.
So Yeti is northern. You know why?
Because it's a freaking Sasquatch.
Well, no, here's the thing.
Yeti is a Sasquatch.
If a southern guy would have come up with this, it would have been called Bigfoot.
It'd been called like Swamp Monster or something. Yeah.
Well, Bigfoot,
Yeah, like what do you think about what is Bigfoot? Like I know what Bigfoot is, but like how do people get obsessed with these things?
I don't know, but there's a whole group of people around Tennessee that's like
there's a group in the world. Like there's like
but there's actually tours, Bigfoot tours. Did you know that up in Tennessee? Like they have this Bigfoot tour, and like there's these people. So
somebody walks around with fake feet on to put some footprints out before you go on this tour. I don't know
what they're doing to kind of stimulate these people to go do it, but it's kind of like an outfitter.
Back when I was 7, I was having me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich up on this rock. And gosh darn it, something threw a rock at me, and it was him. I looked up there and I saw him. He was snarling at me,
and I threw a Slim Jim at him.
Yeah, and Jack Slinks.
Oh yeah, not Slim Jim. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but he threw the Slim Jim back because it wasn't Jack Slinks. Yeah. We're no way endorsing Slim Jim or Jack Slinks at this time. But if you write us a check, we'll talk about it some more.
Hey, but so Yeti. Okay, Yeti is Canadian. That's the white Bigfoot because they're.
Oh, that's the abominable snowman, Rick.
That's the same. I thought that's the Yeti.
I don't know.
Yeti and Bob.
Look, man. You're going to insult somebody on this podcast if you don't get it right.
Well, I told you the white skin is north and the dark skin is south.
My sister texted me. My sister texted me yesterday, and she was pissed at your statement about that.
What?
She said, "Why is Rick picking on white people? Like not white race people, but white skin. Like she's white. Like she would get sunburnt sitting in these lights right here. She's like, I hate Rick. Tell him never talk to me again. He's got to pick on white people.
No.
Yep. So she's going to listen to this because she texts me she listened, I think, every podcast yesterday. Was texting me and she's like, damn it, Rick. Tell him I hate him. He's not allowed in my house ever again.
I'm never going to get to go to Savannah again.
You're done.
Dang. Well, I don't mean anything. It's all in good
fun. Sure, man. Right. It's just, you're picking on, so you started picking on white women. Now you're picking on white snowmen and abominable snowmen and Yetis and Bigfoots, and now you've segregated that whole race of these fuzzy animals.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, that don't get you out of jail, bro.
I thought it did. We went over this.
You're a guy. That only works for females. You got to be a female to say that.
So guys need a bless your heart. They need a bless your heart, get me out of jail free card.
It don't happen. It don't happen.
That's no fair.
Guys stay in the doghouse, period.
I know.
There's no getting out.
Men's got it bad, boy. They got it bad. They can't bless her heart.
I don't care if you take her on a Bigfoot tour in Tennessee. You ain't getting out of this one.
All right, let's see if I can think of somehow to get out of this and not be in trouble. There's not. So I'm just going to be in the doghouse forever.
Yeah, you can try to fill that hole up with whatever you want to. It's quicksand right now, buddy. Singing fast.
So how do we get on Bigfoots and Yetis and the color of their hair?
Because the Yeti cup.
Hey, there's just the color of their hair, though. It's not a
so what stage is your beard in of Yeti?
it's kind of going in
color
skunk.
phase.
It's kind of going in skunk mode. It's a gray.
The skunk ape. Have you ever heard of the skunk ape?
So you know what? We need to debunk all these critters because there's abominable snowman, the Yeti,
the skunk ape,
The skunk. That's southern,
right?
That is
the Okefenokee Swamp. Yep. Is the skunk ape.
Oh, and dang, I can't believe I ain't even thought about this, guys. Have you ever heard of the spook light?
The what?
Spook light. Oh my gosh, you're from the south.
Oh my gosh,
what's wrong with you?
I don't know, Rick. What's wrong with me?
The spook light, so it was a big thing when I was young. I mean, it's still kind of people talk about it or whatever, but supposedly it's like a light, like people's tried to relate it to be like ghost and whatever kind of things, but supposedly there's like some gas it like emits from different areas in the south around the swamp.
It's
whatnot.
Called a fart, Rick.
What, do your farts light up because this lights up?
I bet if you get a lighter and make some bad stuff go on, buddy.
But supposedly,
have you not YouTube people lighting their farts on fire? There you go.
That's bull crap.
Yeah, you'll burn your beard off your face trying to pull that one off.
That's not southern. That's some kind of idiot right there. That's all that crap.
That's an idiot. That ain't southern.
There's a big difference between idiot and southern.
Yeah.
But it's supposedly a spook light. It chases you. It's just all kind of different things about
Landon, have you ever heard of a spook light? Thank you. That makes two of us. Rick, you have been defeated in this battle.
I'm telling you, please, if anybody knows about the spook light, please leave a comment for Michael, not me. I mean, I know about the spook light.
Please leave a comment for me.
Tell Michael about the spook light. But
we call those fireflies. Oh, look, there's a light chasing me. Oh, it's a firefly, Rick.
So is that like a big gang of them together? They
might be a steroided up firefly. I don't know.
But seriously though, that's something that we need to debunk one day.
You need to do some stuff because you always talk about what we need to do on these things, and they're all your ideas. So you got to do all of it.
Okay, all right. I'll take the reins on the spook light.
Somebody sent an email to southernstyleguys@gmail.com and was Rick a list of all this crap that he talks about in these podcasts that he's never going to follow up with. That's what you need to do. Make him a checklist.
I'm writing a sticky note right now. Spook light.
Actually, I just want to make sure I gave out the right email address. We do have a Southern Style Guys email address.
Well, you know what? Too honestly,
no, I don't. Honestly,
I'm about to see if Google knows about spook light.
That is southernstyleguys@gmail.com. Yes, please send us an email and give us feedback on Rick's path of destruction of topics that he does not follow up with.
Oh my God, here I am so wrong.
Not Jesus. The first time.
Okay, here's number one fact check from Rick. Spook light is actually not southern. I guess we stole that from the Midwest boys because spook light is originally like kind of Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma. I see a lot of things about it in the Midwest. What is that, Landon? Oh, you did some fact. Hey, check Landon out over there.
Let me see that. What's that called?
He said something about
ball lightning. Is that what it's ball lightning?
Like little orbs that come off the top of the mountain.
Huh.
They'll like fly around the mountain.
Yeah, here's a picture of it online here.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So it might be okay. So spook light legend was debunked more than 70 years ago. Oh crap! This is old news. They already debunked this 7 years ago. But as a kid growing up, spook light was something cool to me. Like we would go ride to places that supposedly the spook light, spook whatever you want to call it.
Hey Rick, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Nah.
You ever had any experience whatsoever? Nothing.
Nah.
I just want
because here's the thing, though.
I'm just saying there's something. All right, so we'll go down this wormhole. Ready?
Okay. All right,
hold on.
This is cool.
Tighten your belt, grab your beer. Here we go. So, I believe in our earth we live on here. If you're believing, you're religious at all, it's always a good versus evil, right?
Oh yeah, true.
That's our whole world.
Yeah.
You think about it, and even in common news topics that you hear about, it's always good versus evil.
You're right.
Mostly evil if you listen to news nowadays, which I don't do. But there's things that we can't see and that we can't understand. Fact.
Like what the Democrats do on the sideline that they cover up with some big story.
That's actually probably the most evil things that are out there. Some of those topics there. But I know people that have like had weird stuff, like legit experiences, like coming in the kitchen, all the cabinets are open. Like stuff that you see in the movies. Now,
Right.
that's not happened to me. The only thing that's ever happened to me that was really weird is I was in a deer stand in Ohio, I don't know, probably 6 or 8 years ago. And I climb up and get in this ladder stand. I got one of the guys that works there. He was filming. He had done a lot of film work, so he was filming me that morning. We were bow hunting. We get in this ladder stand, and I'm looking up a finger. And on my right side of the cornfield, the left side of the finger's the cornfield, and it's all hardwoods behind me. And back here to my right, I can see like 200 yards through the wood. It's just an open oak bottom with ridges. Big creek running back there. Pretty spot. Sorry, coffee's kicking me. But we haven't been there long, and it's just getting to that time of day where when it's getting daylight and everything's gray, like you can see detail, but you can't see color.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. And dude, we're sitting there. I'm hanging my bow up on the hanger. He's all set up, and we just hear. And I was like, what? I looked to my right, like came to my right where I can see 200 yards. I look and there's nothing there. Nobody. And he looks at me, dude. He works there. His eyes were huge, like Coke cans. He goes, what the F was that? And I'm like, man, I don't know. You work here. And dude, 5 minutes later, a deer a buck actually came walking right from where that sound was. So it
obviously
couldn't have been
nobody.
anybody. It couldn't have been anybody there. Or that deer wouldn't have came from that way.
I mean, some kind of
You
animal.
think the deer whistled at me? No, dude, it was a person like
Parakeet.
just like me trying to whistle at you.
Parakeet got out.
Parakeet.
Yeah, I mean, they can talk and whistle and do things. I mean, somebody trained that thing up and
I've
threw
been,
out a house.
look, dude, I've been worrying about this all these years, wondering what that was, and now Rick
You
just
should've
solved
just
that for
called
me.
me.
It was a parakeet. Hey,
You
Rick,
should've-
I'm up here in the stand, man. Someone just whistled out. Oh, it was a parakeet, bro.
You're
I promise you.
good.
Is it that or spider monkey? I don't know one or the other.
That is weird.
No,
though.
dude.
That is
And,
weird.
And the name of that area was Widowville. And it was
Some
where
history there.
And I asked the guy that owned the place, I was like, what's that? He said, well, in the Civil War, when they drafted the Union soldiers from that area, all the men and boys 15 and older went to the Civil War and they all died.
Golly.
None of them came back. So everybody was widowed. That's what they called it, Widowville. And then this dude that had the place, he's like, dude, because I always mess around, because he took this old horse barn and he converted it into a big nice lodge and stuff like that. And I asked him, I was like, man, this place haunted. I always do that. Just old places. I've always, this is haunted.
Yeah.
He goes, do you want to know or not? And I was like,
Uh-oh.
all right, let her rip. And he goes, dude, I got a trail camera picture. I'll show you if you want to see it. I was like, all right, man, whatever. Because, we see all these Photoshop trail camera pictures on the internet.
Yeah.
He's like, man, he said, I thought somebody was messing with me. He said, I thought one of my buddies had got my, a card out of my camera and went and put this picture on there and, blah, blah, blah. He said, dude, I checked the date, I checked the time. He said, I searched the internet endlessly, not telling anybody what I had on here, trying to find that picture so that I could debunk and say, okay, somebody's playing a joke on me. And he said, dude, he said, I looked for hours when I should have been working. He said, I was looking for this freaking picture. And he said, I couldn't find it anywhere. He said, there's a little girl at 2 a.m. standing in front of my trail cam picture in a white dress.
God almighty.
I said, do what? He's like, dude, he said, do you want to see it? I said, no, absolutely not.
No, I got to sleep here tonight.
And then I'm like, all right, that's creepy.
On the last day, I'll look at it.
Yeah, when I leave, when I'm never coming back here, I'll look at it. But then the guy that I was hunting with that morning, after we got down and he kind of chilled out later on, I was like, dude, that freaked you out? He's like, dude, I didn't want to tell nobody. He said, but I have a person in a black cloak on trail camera in the middle of the night. And he said, I checked it. I don't know, one morning he said, I dropped hunters off and I went and I grabbed these cards out of these cameras and like 7 a.m, right at daylight, I ease into the spot and get this and I'm checking it. I'm standing there checking it on the camera. And he's like, I ran across that dude. He said, chills ran all over me and I got out of there.
I mean, I've seen somebody one time walking through the woods that was like, look witchy or whatever kind of thing. But I mean, there was just.
But it was just Halloween.
Weirdo. I mean, it was just weirdo stuff. I mean, I've seen, but 2 a.m. in the morning, a little girl. I mean, that's kind of weird. That's a little exceptional there. But I mean, I'm not going to say that good and evil don't exist, because we all know that for sure. We know that in the Bible, there's things that you can read the Bible, and if you perceive, if you get something out of that, I'll
put it this way.
Kind of like ghostly.
One of my best friends in this world, he's in seminary school in Kentucky right now. He's finishing up this year. And I had a friend that was going through some of this stuff, like weird crap was happening. Like just stuff that you're like, we can't believe.
Right.
Like it'd be like me coming in and see your bow case right over here.
Yeah.
Like they had a piece of furniture, had a bottom drawer on it, you slide it open, get up. One day they go in there and you cannot open that drawer. Like it will not come open. Like physically pulled a handle off of it, can't get it open. That is stuck, right? They go back in the back room, whatever. They hear something coming in, that drawer's open.
That don't make no sense.
It'd be like me going and I can't open that bow case, and then me and you've tried for a month to open that bow case. We can't get in. You come here and it's just open. Like just stuff like that.
And he experienced something like that. Is that what you're saying?
They had that going on in their house. It was her and her daughter, and just weird stuff. Like her daughter was sitting in her bedroom one day, and they have a hallway, and the door was open, and she thought her boyfriend walked by, and it was somebody in a white shirt, and she goes out there and nobody's there.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Like she's just sitting there like, somebody's walked by, like, nobody. Like just, man, then she's like, well, maybe I'm just seeing things, just random stuff, just weird stuff. And then so I called my buddy and asked him, and I was like, hey man, I told you my story. Somebody whistled in the woods. And who the hell? Man, it could have been a parakeet from it. But when I asked him about that, and he was like, in seminary school, he's like, oh yeah, that's real.
So he
didn't hesitate. It's not about believing in that. It's believing in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's believing that
there's stuff.
And he said in our country that basically it's kind of frowned upon if you believe in that stuff. People think you're crazy or whatever like that. He said in other countries, he's like, it's normal, like it's every day. He said, especially in like Asian cultures, like Japan, stuff like it's just normal. Oh well, there, cousin Jeb just walked back through the living room while we're watching TV. I mean, I don't know if it's that prevalent, but he's like, but it boils down to people that mess with like Ouija board and stuff.
Yeah.
If you have one of these anywhere, I'm leaving right now. I will not touch one of them. I will not be around one of them, because he's like, Davey told me, he said, if you open the door, something will come in, and it's not going to be good.
Wow.
And he sat through classes and like listened to and saw videos and stuff of exorcisms and all this stuff. And he's like, man, it's real. Like people, but see, you got to think about it from a holistic approach as, what is a demon? All right, we think it's some evil, sinister thing that can possess you and whatever, you know what I mean, like that. But it could be alcoholism, drug abuse.
Yeah,
everybody's got their personal demons, right?
Yeah,
there's something making you do that. That's got. I
heard a sermon one time just like this, and it was really eye opening, very good.
But it's addiction of any kind.
Yeah.
And then we, like in our last podcast, if you just heard that train wreck of us talking about food and people sugar's an addiction. So if you look at this stuff from a holistic approach, it may not be as real as, oh my gosh, my bow is levitating across the room. It could just be like, oh, something's got a hold of me. Whatever that is. That's
a demon.
Right.
A demon. That's the evil. Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying there's not, polarization of, we got some really bad stuff going on in this house versus, all right, somebody's on crack. I'm not making light of either one of those, but it's all in the same perception.
So as a lot of people, they thinking about ghosts and goblins and whatever kind of things, but so people think that it's weird. I've had a ton of people that don't hunt and ask me, they say, you go like walking in the woods like when it's dark and all that kind of stuff, and I always tell them, I say, that don't bother me. It bothers people. Like normal people can't just go walk through the absolute dead pitch black dark woods and feel safe and feel good. Like it scares the crap out of them.
What I mean to me, the only thing I'm afraid of is stepping on a snake, which we talked about that, or if you're in a place where there's bears and stuff like that. I mean, your odds of getting attacked by a black bear are very freaking slim.
Oh, I feel safer.
Almost none.
I'd rather run across a big old bear than a sow coon with cubs.
Well, that or a hog. You know what I mean? Like,
anything with now black bear with cubs, she would probably.
But my dad always told me, he said, "Dude, don't there ain't nothing to be scared of.
Nothing.
It's the same as it is in the daytime. It's just dark."
Exactly. And here's the thing too: if you're out in the woods, I mean, I guess if you're thinking about goblins and demons and witches and werewolves or whatever,
your mind
is going to take control of you, and you're going to be scared to death. But guess what? I don't like dwell on those things. I mean, yeah, I'll watch a movie or whatever, but I'll just like, because now when I was younger, when I was back, say early teenage years and I was hunting, I would think about things and let my mind.
Well, you just watched Friday the 13th, and now you're thinking this dude with a ski mask or a hockey mask on and pop out behind a tree and slash my throat.
Solely because it's in your head.
The mind.
Your
is
mind
the most powerful.
Oh, it's incredible. But I'm to an age now, and I guess simply that I've done it my whole entire life. I can literally walk in those woods and I feel safer than what I would if I was in a big city at daytime and a bunch of, crack kids and mean people. I don't know.
Oh, you're way more safer in the woods than you are downtown Chicago.
You're very safe in the woods.
Doubt.
That's what
and to me, the only thing that I'm ever unsettling about in the woods is if it's just a place I don't know.
Just maybe getting
turned around, getting lost, but because the more familiar you are with a piece of property, it's like home.
You ever been lost in the woods hunting?
No.
I was one time on a big piece of property, and I wouldn't say this has been not too long ago because it has been a long time ago, but I had already had a good career in walking the woods and being a country boy and hunting and all that. But I did get turned around and I didn't have hardly any service. And I finally, it was dark, pitch black dark. I think my flashlight might've been dead, which I don't really walk with a flashlight a whole lot. Like if I try not to be just a little
I try not to be in the pitch black dark where I need a flashlight. Like I always try to walk in and out where you can still like that gray where you can kind of see, but you can't see just enough to get back to the truck.
That's a good time to go in. But now I got plumb lost, and I finally I wandered around, not even caring where I was at anymore, just trying to find signal enough. And luckily, my oldest brother Freddie was there with me, and I actually had. Honestly, I can't remember if it was him or somebody else. But anyways, I finally got in touch with them, like text messages or whatever. That's back when you was hitting, the number three times.
7, 4. What is he trying to say? I think it spells biscuit. But we're hunting. He wants a biscuit.
Call me Mom.
It's 8:00 at night. Why does he want a biscuit? Oh, that's lost. My bad.
But he come driving in there, and he went to blow in the horn. And I wasn't as far as what I just thought in my mind. I was like, God, I'm in Florida.
You're like right there. Like the road is right there.
It wasn't far at all.
It's been years ago. I wasn't there, but to hear my dad and my cousin tell this story, it was pretty funny. My cousin shot a deer one evening right before dark. And of course the deer runs off and he goes down in the woods. He finds the deer and he's trying to drag the deer out. And it's dark.
Yeah.
And Dad, they're back at the truck, waiting and waiting. This is before cell phones were a thing at all.
Yeah.
And they're waiting and waiting. And finally, they go walking down kind of the road or whatever towards where he's at. And they hear somebody going, "Hey." Hey.
Did y'all leave me?
And then they go, "Hey." Hey. That's all they're doing is hey and back and forth. And then he goes, my dad says, "Where are you?" "Over here." You don't know where he's at. Why are you asking where he's at? But anyway, they kept yelling at each other and they got him back to the road. But I mean,
I'm by this big pine.
"I'm over here by a tree." "No shit." I guess.
You know what? No, it's so much different nowadays. You know, we should always talk about how much different hunting is nowadays. Because when I was a kid, there was no cell phones, there was no thermocells, there was no Onyx and hunt stands and stuff like that.
When I started bow hunting, I had one arrow.
Oh gosh, yes, the big old fat aluminum.
Just one arrow is all I had. Like Dad's like, here, make it work. You know, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Dong. 20 yards, you're barely hitting a freaking wall over there. Dong.
Did you? What kind? So, what was your first bow?
Like official hunting bow, I think it was an Indian XI.
Oh, like Okay, so there was Indian and then bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I had a bear, black bear, but those Indian bows, I had one of those too, but I just can't remember enough about it. But little small energy wheel.
Oh yeah. It was a little bitty wheel. Like it was, you were not no let off. It was like 2% let off. Like you pull them like 50 pounds. If you're lucky.
95 IBO.
Yeah. Now we got bows that like 98% let off. And like you can almost turn the string loose and it just sits there.
Yeah.
You know, shooting 350, but. Things have come a long ways in the hunting world.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, that definitely is. But the Thermacell was a very good invention
the Thermacell,
for the Southerners.
The only thing with Thermacell is it doesn't work like if you're just walking around doing stuff.
Yeah, you got to be sitting still.
You need some lethal bug and tick repellent. Shameless plug. But the Thermacell, I remember when they first came out, I was working at a archery shop here in Valdosta. And we had these things, and the guy that ran that store then, a buddy of mine, Big Jason, and he said, if you don't think that, he said, take that with you. You're going hunting, yeah? Take that with you, and if it doesn't work, bring it back. If it works, just bring me the money.
He was very confident.
Yeah. He said, if you don't think it's working, turn it off. I'm like, all right, man, whatever.
Yeah.
Go to the woods, and turn the thing on. All right, it's lit. I'll lay it down there, and mosquitoes are all over. And 5 minutes later, you're like, ain't no mosquitoes flying around really. Then 15 minutes later, you're like,
this is amazing.
It's pretty cool.
Amazing.
I went back in there Monday, like, man, here's your money.
Yeah.
But they were like $20 back then. So I should have bought 50 of them.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what's crazy is now that we're used to Thermacells, and I'm sure everybody in the north, I bet everybody has caught on now to
We've heard of them,
at least heard of them.
Yeah.
But if you ain't, you need to go get one. But
you don't. You need to get lethal bug and tick repellent.
Yeah,
coming to Bucky soon.
Oh yeah, y'all putting it in Bucky's?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So.
Well, anyways,
Thermacells work too, though.
Yeah, they work
Everything's
pretty good.
Got its place.
Not as good as lethal, but
same but different.
Same but different.
Yeah.
But what's crazy though is now that we're used to having these products, now you're just it's normal. You don't even think anymore about. I remember when I went to the deer woods one time in South Georgia, and I sat one evening, and when I come back to the house, the person at the house said, "My gosh, what is wrong with your face?
Yeah.
You look weird."
Yeah.
Like my whole face, and this is after about 30 minutes of a drive, so it's already, the swelling started going down, but my fingers, I mean, what is exposed, like my eyebrows and my forehead and my tops of my cheeks and it looked like Elephant Man.
Yeah, dude, I look like I had chicken pox after going hunting one morning. And dude, talking about the scariest experience I ever had hunting, between the mosquitoes and a ladder stand that didn't want to stay on a tree. I went with this dude one time, and this guy, I'm a big boy, but this guy had to weigh like 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, man, just walk down this road and get in this ladder stand. And it's bow season. It's hot. And mosquitoes are bad. And there's a ladder stand. I ease up in that tree, dude. And I sit down on that thing, and it starts sliding down the tree. And I was like, I said, dear God, if you let me get down the bottom of this tree, I will never climb that thing again. And dude, it was one of them, like I said, he's a little dude, but it was just a ladder stand up on a tree, and there was no support bar. You know what I mean?
It was buckling in the center of it.
Yeah, it was just. I was a lot bigger than him, so it was just the weight was pushing down and sliding down that tree, and I'm like, man, this thing's fixing to go.
Yeah,
and I got down.
Dead. Yeah,
and it may not have, but I wasn't going to sit there and find out.
Right.
And so then I sat down there. I just sat at the bottom of the tree, and dude, mosquitoes got so bad. I said, screw this. I walked back out and went to the truck, Or I just walked back out to the road because I didn't know where the truck. Like I could remember, but I couldn't remember. I didn't want to go walk. I didn't know where he was hunting, so I didn't want to just walk down the road and end up messing his hunt up. So I just stood there and swatted mosquitoes for 2 hours, and then he finally said, "Man, why didn't you go back to the truck?" I was like, "Well, I didn't want to mess nobody up."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "You want to go back this afternoon?" Nope.
I'm done.
I'm done. I'm out. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna invite your buddies or have an outfit or whatever it is, you got to make sure them stands are safe and nice. I mean, if you throw some crap together, I've been at places before hunting with other people like outfitters or get an invite or something, and you got to be an acrobat to get into the freaking stand.
I hunted all over this country in the same way. I mean, my dad was one of the worst in his prime. Dude, you were climbing up 68 limbs, 3 screw-in steps, 2 tree spikes, going under one limb, hanging from another to get in a stand. I'm like,
was it a good spot though?
I mean, he didn't have bad spots.
Right. Yeah.
But my point is, like, bro, we could have done this a lot different. You know, It was almost like he was challenging people. Like, you're gonna hunt my stand, you're gonna earn it. You know? But I've gone to outfitters, dude, and we've climbed up, especially filming. Go to this tree, and I will. If I'm going to a new stand that I've never been to, I will not go in the like first thing in the morning in the dark unless it's a ladder stand that I can go check. While I'm let me check this thing out, or a blind, like a box blind, ground blind, shooting house, whatever. If you say we're going to a double lock on in the morning, no, we're not.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it in the dark anymore.
You know what we experienced, and it actually happened about a handful of years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But we hang lock-ons in the tree. This is kind of, I guess we're getting serious again here, but this is kind of something that needs to be talked about a little bit. But these lock-ons that have these like cables, like, so they have the cables that they just the basic. Okay, so those things are metal. They're encased most of the time with a rubberized coating to make them look pretty.
But weather deteriorates those cables fast.
Cable rusts really bad. So Red. My buddy Red, he climbed up in a tree early morning, flashlight, red flashlight, barely a glow, right? He's climbing in the tree, gets in the tree. We're bear hunting. We're South Georgia black bear hunting. And he shoots a deer. Well, we're bear hunting, but a nice deer come in, and it's the same, deer and bear season runs together. But anyway, shoots a deer. He's in a harness the whole entire time, and he goes to get down. He takes his harness off. As soon as he took that harness off, like the worst luck ever, cable breaks on the lock on. He goes, 25 foot to the ground, hurts him pretty good. He doesn't go to the hospital. He recovers, but he could have easily landed on the log, killed us. I mean, man, that stuff is dangerous as it can get.
You're right. And so we always wear our safety harnesses. He did have his own, but there's just the Hunter Safety System and other companies too. They make a lifeline.
The lifeline, yeah.
Like the worst part of it is what you got to get it up there.
You got to get it.
But you wear your harness. You go up to get your stand set, and then you run that lifeline up there, and so you're connected from the time you're on the ground all the way up, no matter what happens.
Yeah, we started buying those after that.
And I'll tell you what. I mean, I feel so much safer nowadays hunting than I used to. I'm sitting up and like, oh my God, don't blow wind. Yeah. I'm like, bring it on now. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You don't want to fall, but at the same time, when you're locked in like that, it's like driving with your seatbelt on. You have some sense of security, even though something bad can still happen. But it's better than the old days of sitting there going, oh crap, not knowing and climbing up a wooden ladder. I mean, I jumped out of a ladder stand one time. It swiveled on me. It wasn't tight enough, and it went one way. I just jumped off the other, which I went about 10 feet, but I landed on my feet, like my heels, and then I just rolled.
Yeah.
And it didn't knock the air out of me for a minute, and then my heel was so bruised I couldn't put weight on it for about 2 weeks.
Simply just falling down on a stub and it jugging you through your guts or whatever, you'd be dead.
Dude, at the age we are now, fall down on the steps, walking out the door right now, we'd be bruised up and broke legs. So, I mean,
I'm nowhere near what I used to be, that's for sure.
Well, that's not my fault, Rick.
You stressing me out.
Anyway, we digressed this podcast with the serious notes this week, and
why do we get so serious?
We're trying to save your life. Go to church, watch out for Bigfoot, the abominable snowman, the Yeti, the skunk ape, and some kind of lights that Rick made up that have been debunked 70 years ago.
Yeah.
And use your safety harness and eat better.
Yeah.
That's today's podcast.
You just summed it all up.
I think Eat Better was in the last podcast. Eat Better anyway. I don't even know. They all run together.
All right. Well, that probably sums up 38 minutes.
That's 38 minutes of your life you'll never get back.
You'll never get it back, guys.
But you were entertained for at least 30 seconds out of that 38 minutes.
Well, keep hanging around, folks, and we'll, I guess, ramble on some more.
Well, maybe they'll get better.
All right. We out on that one.
Thank you for visiting us today from Rick's Body Shop Plus. Shameless plug to end this episode.
See you guys.
Thank y'all for listening. Please tune in to the rest of this train wreck of a saga.
Yes.
I roll for you. Not in that way.